Hello guys, I'm Miles with best.edu, and today I'm making a last minute video for a test I have tomorrow on conjunction verbs.
So for this video, teacher Stella is unable to help me teach this lesson, but she did set out a class of animals, stuffed animals, to help me teach.
In Spanish, we have different verbs, okay? We have trabajar, which means to work, vivir, which means to live, and aprender, which means to learn. Now, there are other verbs, but these are the ones I chose for this example. Trabajar ends with AR. Vivir ends with IR, and aprender ends with ER. Before we understand how to conjugate these verbs, we need to remember this, okay? So this right here, and I would suggest you screenshot it, okay? Or I can put a better one up on screen. There you go, there's a better one, okay? But that will be all the examples for all of the different verb kinds, because I don't have just one. But what we have is yo, which is I, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, nosotras, vosotros, vosotras, ellos, ellas, ustedes. Okay? So, what all these do, they're universal with our AR, ER, and IR verbs. Okay? So, when we are talking about trabajar, okay, to conjugate it, we are changing who it is referring to. So, if I'm saying I work, okay, I would say yo trabajo. See? Because yo is I, okay? And here, yo trabajo. So we replace the AR with the O, okay? If I say you work, I say trabajas, AS, okay? If I say he, she, or you, formal, are working, I would say trabaja, and I replace the AR, trabaja. He works. Trabaja, okay? If I'm saying we work, I say trabajamos. Okay? So now we move on to IR verbs, okay? Which is the same exact concept as AR verbs, just different, okay? So we look here, IR verbs, okay? We have OSA, imos, is, N, okay? And now remember, that you need to memorize this. You need to remember all these separately because these are different, but I'm going to show you a trick, okay? So, for IR and ER verbs, these three, O, S, E, now imos, ace, and imos, ice, are different, but O, S, A, and N are all the same. Not on AR verbs, though it's O, as, A, amos, ice, on, which are completely different, okay? See, they both stay the same here. And that's why I drew a circle around it, okay? Okay, so now we have IR verbs, okay? Remember, exactly like AR verbs, but again, slightly different. I just explained that, okay? So, vivir, if I'm saying I live, okay? And this is just an example. Remember, there are other AR verbs. These are just the examples I chose, and I'll give you some more in a second that you're able to look over, and I'm gonna tell you to pause the video and try and conjugate them yourself, but I'm not gonna do that quite yet, okay? So we have vivir, okay? If I'm saying I live, I'm going to say vivo. If I'm going to say you live, I say vives. If I say he, she, or you, formal, live, I say vive, okay? Now remember, these two, imos and is, are different than imos and ice, which are ER, which I'm about to get to, because I just explained it wrong and I had to redo the video for that. So, we're not going to do that again, okay? So, imos and ice, okay? So, I'm referring to we. So, we live, I say vivimos, okay? When I say you plural, okay, so you guys live, I say vives, okay? If I say they live, they feminine live, so they masculine, they feminine live, which is eos, ellas, and that's an A, by the way. I did that wrong. I apologize for that. And ustedes, which is you plural, okay, which would be you guys, which is similar to this, but it's more professional. If I'm referring to a group of very important people that you need to respect, you'd say ustedes, okay? But vivir, if I'm referring to any of these people, I say viven, okay? Very simple. ER verbs, exactly the same. I'm going to go over it again, though, with aprender, okay? So, we have ER verbs, O, S, A, imos, es, N. Remember? Almost exactly like IR verbs, except emos and ace, and, emos and ace, ice, and emos and ice, something like that, are different. Just those two, These in this little L shape are exactly the same, and I circled that for a reason because OSA and N, OSA and N, exactly the same. So OSN, imos eis N. OSA, imos eis N. Let me say that again for you guys. Okay, so aprender, you say to learn. I say I learn. I say aprendo. Okay, I say you learn. I say aprendes. I say he, she, or you formal. Okay, I say aprende. Okay, I say, this is to learn, by the way. That means to learn, okay? So I say we learn. I say aprendimos. I say you learn. I say aprendes. When I say they feminine, or they plural, or you plural, which would be a group of people that are respectable, you say aprenden. It's as simple as that, okay? And here's a little example here for these two, and I've got these in red and green. Okay, so remember, when you're switching from IR, which is going to be green, and you're switching from ER is going to be in red. So for emos, which is here, you want to switch that to an I. And you may want to write down these charts. In fact, here they are on the board once again for you guys to use. Screenshot that real quick. Incredibly helpful. Okay, so ice and ice. Remember, you just get rid of the E. And it's as simple as that to convert ER verbs to IR verbs. Okay, bad handwriting, but here's a quiz, okay? Yo hablar en escuela. Okay, so it's conjugated, okay? So, we take out the AR. Yo becomes O, okay? Hablo en escuela. And then we can take out the yo. Boom. Tu bailar en la clase. You sing in the class. Okay. Bailar. So this, we have two, which makes this become bailas. And we remove the two. Okay. El cantar por la noche. Okay. El is he. He sings at night. Sorry, I got lost for a second, okay? So, that would be canta por la noche. And we get rid of el. Canta por la noche. Boom. There's AR verbs. Summarize as simple. Simple, simple, simple. Okay, conjugating ER verbs. Go ahead and look at this. This says nosotros comer en la clase. 2. Mi abuelo vender comida por la noche. Number 3 says, ellos comprender la profesora. Okay? So here's how we conjugate these, okay? Okay, we're getting take the marker out first. Okay. So, we have comer, okay? So comer. I like to roll my R's, you know what I mean? So we can remove nosotros. Come over here, remember, nosotros for ER verbs is imos. So comprend, here, let's go. Sorry, I mean comemos. So comemos en la clase. So that means yes, we eat in the class. Mi abuelo vender comida por la noche. I have the camera up here. I hope you're able to see that. My grandma sells food at night. Okay? Simple. Okay? So we can go no, that stays there, sorry. Mi abuelo vender comida por la noche. So, we're referring to my abuelo. So that we would put that as she, okay? As ella. And we come up here, that'd be e. So, comprende. Or sorry, vende. Mi abuelo vende comida por la noche. Okay? Ellos comprender la profesora. They understand the professor. Okay? Or the teacher. Okay? So we take the ER from comprender, and because it is ellos, remember, we can remove that. We can come up here and we can go comprenden la profesora. Simple. Look at how simple that is. And I explained this terribly, but I mean, I'm going to look back at it and use it. So hope you guys find it useful. IR verbs, I'm going to try and speed this up because I was taking way too long and I still keep forgetting to open my marker. But we got yo vivir en Florida, okay? So that means I live in Florida, okay? So we take away the yo, okay? And we replace IR, remember, with O. So vivo en Florida. I live in Florida. Simple. Yo escribir una carta. I write a card. Really simple, okay? Take away the yo. I write becomes I write. Escribo una carta. Okay? Tu recibir una carta. Take away tu. We know tu becomes, remember, tu on our little map here becomes es. Okay? Recibes una carta. Simple. Look at that. I live in Florida. I write a letter. You receive a letter. Vivo en Florida. Escribo una carta. Recibes una carta.